In 2017, the crypto project Stellar Lumens would go on to orchestrate one of the most legendary airdrops in crypto history. One person could have gotten up to $1,000 worth of their token, and just months later, that $1,000 at its peak would be worth $350,000. 6 years later, there are still airdrops happening every week, with new crypto projects trying to entice people to start using their protocol in hopes of taking off and becoming the next big thing. And there are even some people who report making a full-time income just from these crypto airdrops. And this is why this is something that I want to take more seriously this year for my crypto portfolio, which is why I created a list of the 10 biggest crypto airdrops I'm looking at for 2023. Not only are we going to be covering all of the details with these airdrops, I will also be sharing with you how I find them at the end of the video. And if this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll consider doing another video down the road covering more upcoming crypto airdrops. Now, I want you to imagine with me that we own a McDonald's restaurant, and this McDonald's restaurant has a stipulation in play where the longer the line of food, the more people will have to pay. And in this analogy, the McDonald's is the layer 1, like Ethereum. The layer 2 would be the person that would come to your window when you're in your car, taking your orders, helping expedite this process. And this is what the first crypto I'm looking at for an airdrop is. ZK Sync is a layer 2 on Ethereum, helping with Ethereum scalability issues, but in a unique way. With these roll-up type technologies, what's happening is that they are doing all of these transactions off of Ethereum, and then they're sending them all in one group, which makes things faster and cheaper. But the ZK rollup is a little different. So back to the analogy of the McDonald's drive-thru. Imagine if the person that was taking the order was just verbally telling the cashier in the window saying that, hey, this customer paid. There's no way to actually verify that. It's built on trust until obviously at the end of the night when all of the cash is reconciled. That would be the way most of these rollup technologies work off of Ethereum. It's based on trust. But ZK rollups have a special mechanism to where trust doesn't have to be used at all. And this is how we see drive-through windows today, where the person that's taking your order, the cashier can see that that person has actually paid. And the layer 2 space, especially on Ethereum, is very competitive, but this unique feature gives ZK Sync a shot to be one of the leading scaling solutions on one of the biggest blockchains. They haven't actually given their airdrop a hard date yet, but by interacting on their testnet, we have a chance of receiving some of their tokens if they do indeed decide to push through with this airdrop. Now, one of the major lessons that I took away from crypto in 2022 was the emphasis on not storing crypto on centralized exchanges such as KuCoin or Binance due to what happened with FTX and a few other exchanges. And this collapse or weakness in trust with centralized exchanges, this is going to create even more of an important role for decentralized exchanges going forward. And that brings us to Vertex protocol, which is actually a hybrid exchange on the Arbitrum blockchain. Tokens for exchanges from airdrops is something that I'm looking forward to take advantage of because the tokens on these exchanges have direct utility. The more the exchange is used, the more utility that token has. But what makes Vertex especially unique is that it's a hybrid exchange, so it takes elements of both decentralized exchanges as well as centralized exchanges. I did an interview with Vertex on my second channel, Better Blockchain, and they stated that they hadn't given the airdrop a hard date as of yet, but they were going to reward people who joined their Discord as well as interacted on the exchange itself. And this is a theme that you're going to see across many of these airdrops, is that they're rewarding users that take advantage of their different types of products. There's another decentralized exchange on the Arbitrum blockchain called Vela. This exchange and token has actually already launched, but they've announced that they're going to be doing an airdrop at some point in the future as well. But when testing out this exchange, or really any smaller exchange for that matter, be aware for a potential in higher fees and slippage. But on the other side of the coin, the market cap on this project is going to be lower as well, which means that if Vela does succeed, the owners of these tokens of the airdrop are going to be happy campers. For this next project, I want to go back to the McDonald's analogy. If McDonald's is the layer 1 in the example, such as Ethereum, imagine a bunch of different types of fast food restaurants all being different layer 1s. But imagine if you could go to every restaurant and order your favorite item off of every menu to create the ultimate meal. And that's exactly what layer 0 protocols do. And the next project is actually called Layer 0 Protocol. And it has the goal of helping these layer 1s and other crypto projects with interacting with one another. So now developers can build applications and they can take their favorite part of each layer 1 to build build inside of these applications to make even better products. It's also worth noting that Layer 0 is backed by PayPal and Huobi, just to name a couple of their bigger investors. They haven't announced the exact date for the airdrop yet, but the team came out with a list of things that we can do to qualify for that potential airdrop, and I'll leave a link down below to where you can download that. This next project is another Layer 1, and it's doing something unique in the fact that it's combining proof of work with proof of stake. And this project is called Zeta Chain. Proof of work and proof of stake both have their pros and cons, but Zeta Chain is taking the security of proof of work and the more energy efficiency and decentralization of proof of stake and calling it proprietary block stake. And they're doing this with the goal of trying to entice as many developers to come to their system to start building applications. And this is because projects know that decentralized applications are the lifeblood of Layer 1s, and it's important to incentivize developers to come to the ecosystem. This is why when rumors came out about a possibility of an airdrop of the token Zeta, it was something I wanted to add to my crypto airdrop list. Now, they set this up more linear than other airdrops on the list, giving Zeta points that users can accrue by doing certain tasks. The more points you accrue, the more of a chance you have of receiving their token. And when it comes to all of these Layer 1s and Layer 0s, that's why I love airdrops, because it allows you to hedge your bets in so many different buckets without actually having to put your hard-earned capital into all of these projects. And that's why this next Layer 1 caught my attention, because it's using this powerful technique called sharding to scale its network. And appropriately, this crypto is called Shardium. Now, with sharding, imagine a giant brick of Lego. And these Lego represent a node or a little computer that helps the blockchain run. Well, sometimes this one big computer can get clogged trying to solve all of these problems on the network. And so what sharding does is it breaks up the giant block of Lego into all of these smaller blocks of Lego or little computers. And this makes the network run much quicker and more efficiently. And this airdrop has not been confirmed as of yet, but to increase our chances of getting the Shardium token, we can add the Shardium network to our MetaMask. And then we can begin to interact with some of these projects inside of the Shardium ecosystem. In 2017, there were over 145 million people that had sensitive information exposed in what would be known as the Equifax breach. And this is because there is a problem with traditional identity systems. The main problem being is that they're centralized and not secure, where something like this can happen. But this is where our next project, Sui, comes into play. Sui is another Layer 1 with a unique standing point that is attracting developers by making it easy to develop projects with the singular goal of letting individuals maintain their digital identity by using a decentralized identity platform as opposed to the more traditional identity systems. And it doesn't stop there. Sui is going to work in industries ranging from personal finance all the way to e-commerce. And as time goes on, I think we're going to see more of a growing demand for these decentralized applications that focus on security, whether it's anything from finance to social media. But what makes the potential for the Sui airdrop seem so lucrative is that its parent company, Miston Labs, despite being in a bear market, had an evaluation at $2 billion. And given the fact that other competitors have launched lucrative airdrops as well, many people are thinking that if Sui does end up launching an airdrop, it could be something that would be worth our while. But similar to the other projects, you know the drill by now. Interact in the ecosystem, join the social medias, and it increases our odds of actually getting those tokens if they were to launch. Now, this next project is going to make it possible to fractionalize assets ranging from high-end collectibles to real estate and more. And their name is Coindrops. It's a DeFi platform built on Ethereum, and it focuses not only on retail investors, but institutional as well. They claim to be the only DeFi currency that has the capacity to scale global commerce. But what does that even mean? The network allows developers to create tokens that represent fractionalized ownership of different things such as high-end art, real estate, and even high-end collectibles. And it's worth noting that tokenized real estate right now has a market cap 4 times greater than the entire market cap of Bitcoin. And there's an organization out there right now that wants to tokenize every piece of property in the world. It's also worth noting that you can fractionalize intangible assets as well, such as patents and trademarks. And this is a project that I'm particularly excited about because it has real-world applications. Whether they're the ones to pull it off or not, I think this is what we will see blockchain used for in the coming years. This airdrop has been confirmed and will launch when the mainnet does, but that hasn't been announced yet. But to enter in for the airdrop, you can follow these steps on the screen right here. For this next airdrop, we're going to look at a DAO, or a decentralized autonomous organization, particularly BitDAO. And it's an organization where the people of the DAO get to vote on different projects to create and invest in, specifically on the Ethereum blockchain. And to help facilitate this, they created a tool to aid developers in creating applications inside of BitDAO. And Mantle will have a token with the possibility of an airdrop in the future. They already have $250 million, and they're backed by Binance and Huobi, just to name a few of their partners. And this tool Mantle is going to be integral for their success in the coming years. Similar to how Consensus launched MetaMask, the more applications that BitDAO has, the more valuable the organization as a whole will become. And to increase our chances of qualifying for the Mantle airdrop, what you need to do is add the Mantle network to your MetaMask. Speaking of MetaMask, one of the largest crypto wallets in the world first announced that they would do a token launch all the way back in the beginning of 2022, with the end goal being aggressive decentralization, according to the CEO. The token launch date is still uncertain, but the CEO said that it will be coming in the near future, so keep your eyes out for that. And even if they don't do an airdrop, this is one of the few projects on this list that I would pick up for my portfolio anyway, given the fact that they have over 30 million active users every month, and the company is already evaluated at over $400 million. But none of these are as big as the possibility of the upcoming airdrop Arbitrum, a layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum. It's arguably going to be one of the biggest of the year, and I'm not going to cover too much of this in detail because I've already covered it before, but as opposed to before, down below now I have the exact steps on how you can potentially enter for that airdrop. To qualify, it took me about 30 minutes and cost me about $50, so it's definitely something I recommend you do if you have the time and money. But arguably even more important than any of these airdrops is just knowing how to find them to begin with, and I left a link down below to a few sites that I use to help me hunt for up and coming airdrops. But remember though, airdrops are just one way to make money with crypto. If you want to see how I plan on making the most money with my crypto come the next bull run, I recommend you check out this video right here.